So, Jeroen, thank you so much for being here today. I really want to welcome you in this interview. We know each other through ASICS, but of course, you have like a whole different story. So, why wouldn't you start with introducing yourself a little bit?
Well, I'm Jeroen D'hoedt, and I was born in 1990, so already 33 years. I'm part of a triplet, so two other brothers, and yeah, we grew up very sporty, like sporty parents, and we combined athletics, and then we did a little bit of everything. And then I think when I was 10 or 11, also tennis.
Mm-hmm.
And these sports I combined until I was 16, and then I got the opportunity to go to Topsoort School Hasselt. It's like an elite running school in Belgium, and with the result, I think I finished fifth at the Scholieren Championship. So that's under 16, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, one moment at the other, I stopped with the other sports. I chose for running, and I think 3 years later, I became already European champion. So yeah, I never dreamed of becoming a pro athlete, and then
Mm-hmm.
suddenly the progress was there. I think also because we were triplets, we were probably a little bit behind the average height. Uh, we weren't that good as young athletes, but then actually, yeah, once I focused on running, it all came very quickly. And then I think when I was 21, I broke Ivo van Damme's 1500-meter records for under 23, and I participated at my first senior championship. So then my career was launched, and I think at the
Yeah.
age of 22, I became a pro athlete, and I was like pre-qualified for London, but I got injured, so my first big injury, and then yeah, I put everything yeah in line to go to Rio, the Olympics of Rio. And so it was pretty emotional when I got the call, you're selected.
Yeah.
And for me, that was like one of the main goals during my career. And then now I'm already retired running. Uh, Sadly, I still have to work, but I don't mind. I have a very nice job. So.
Yeah. Well, that's very briefly summarized your whole life, let's say. But let's just like go a little bit deeper into each aspect. So, what is actually being the difference between like just a good athlete and then a pro athlete? Because you say like at some point you like became a pro athlete. So, what's the difference then there?
I think maybe it's easy because I have two brothers, so I can compare a little bit. They say I had lots more talent, but I say I hated losing even more than them. So I think being I wanting to be perfect in what you do is really crucial, and definitely those first years, yeah, everything was new. I love to travel, so it was all like yeah, like in a dream. And yeah, I think yeah, it's sad to say, but you can never be happy with your results. So you always have to reset, and that's what kept me going forward. And even after a big win or new records, the day after, I had the mindset of okay, let's make this work to go even to make myself even better and take care of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Because how does the life actually look like of a pro athlete? Because we all think like a lot of people just think it's like all the glory moments, like you know, when you go to like these big competitions and then you set like a new record or stuff. But I think we know there's a lot of work involved into getting there. So can you like maybe I don't know, like picture a little bit how your days used to be in the past?
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest plus is flexibility. If it's bad weather, you can just say, "Hey guys, I'm leaving to a sunny country," a bit like you did to Barcelona, to Spain. Uh, but but it's not especially that you train more. It's actually that you have more possibilities to rest between trainings, and that was for me the biggest plus. And of course, yeah, the traveling is yeah. You're pretty free in what you do. I think the backside of the medal, I don't know if it's an expression in English, one of the. Is it one? Is it one? No.
Yeah, I think I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
it's
it
an
is.
expression
Yeah.
in Dutch. No, I think it's also a pretty lonely life in a way that you make lots of sacrifices. I think the moment that you also just start describing them as sacrifices, then you're already a little bit in a down spiral. So in those first years, that everything was normal. That I would go to bed earlier, that I wouldn't participate in parties or only between the seasons, and that you would miss actually lots of family gatherings and stuff. So you have to be pretty on yourself. But on the other hand, you meet so many new people, and I love definitely the international part. So if I travel, I know I can crash at lots of trips of friends I made during the
Yeah.
years. And the biggest plus is, of course, championships. But of course, in athletics, you're on your own. So if things don't work, it's a pretty hard world.
Mhm.
And then it's the way that the mental game is so crucial. How do you handle injuries? How do you handle setbacks? And how do you handle your expectations? So not every year it's not exact science. We try to do it like that, but it's always a small aspect that doesn't work out or that does work out. And I think the best years are really when you balance on a fine court and you just don't get injured and you just get through the races. You just get through heats and things like that. So it's a very, very fine line. And yeah, one year is you're lucky and the other year you aren't. So yeah.
Yeah. Because how did a normal day look like for you? Like you woke up and then it all started, or?
Well, the first years being pro, I was still studying. So let's say towards the end of my studies, I would go lesser and lesser to the classes.
Yeah, but that's
But
with
let's
every
say a
student.
normal,
That's with every
yeah,
student.
yeah.
It doesn't count.
Okay, it doesn't count. Doesn't count. But let's say the last years were pretty extreme. That I would only get my books the last weeks of the semester and start studying then. But let's say I think an early run before breakfast would be a normal day. So I would run 12 times a week, only on Wednesday and Sunday once. Those were mostly the tougher trainings. And on the other days will be like one recovery run, one longer, faster run, and then in between I would divide throughout the week two times core, 2 times power training, and one technique training for the hurdle. So you're around 15, 17 trainings a week that you have to divide equally to don't get injured and to be actually fresh enough to be ready for the tough training. So and have a high enough volume, and then your days are pretty filled like that. And then of course the most important thing at noon, a good siesta is crucial in your day. Yeah.
So actually, I am already part of a pro athlete. Like I moved to a sunny country. I am doing my siesta.
Exactly.
Um, and
Exactly. Good. Yeah. And
um,
then probably you're raising your load in trainings as well. So it goes step by step. You can't add too much because your body wouldn't cope with it. So step by step.
yeah, I'm already doing my 2 trainings of the day, so I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Um,
Yeah.
but how many like training hours or kilometers did you do on an average week? If we can know.
Yeah, it's of course a big difference between winter and summer. Winter, I would run cross country races up to 12 kilometers. So then the volumes would be on average probably 130 kilometers a week. The biggest weeks there, maybe 150, 160 kilometers. And towards the summer, we would also always do a big training camp in Flagstaff, Arizona. And then I think once I hit 180, but
Mm-hmm.
mostly on training camp, the average would be around 130, 140 kilometers. And then when the real summer season starts, I would only hit maybe 90, 100 because you need to focus way more on speeds. than endurance.
Yeah. Yeah, because that speed that all leads up to a championship, I can imagine. So how is it to be at a championship? Like we all saw the televisions and stuff, but how is the like the atmosphere? Is it like all friends among each other, or is it like also like rivalry, or how can we like imagine it?
Well, you always travel with a group of Belgians, unless you go on your own onto a training camp and go directly to the championship. So it depends really where the championship is. Like, for example, European championship, most people go alone. Like I arrive only 2 days before,
Mm-hmm.
just after an altitude camp. So within the Belgian team, it's yeah, everyone is there for the same goal. So it's a great atmosphere, and even amongst competitors within your event, you made a lot of friends because you run not only against them on a championship. So I think until the race, you're really focused. You just do what you have to do. You rest enough. You don't waste energy. You try to relax. Don't read too much articles and stuff. And then once once the championship is over, you relax and you try to make the best of it. And like for example, I was really disappointed in Rio, but then it's once in a lifetime opportunity. So my roommate was Michael Bulteel, and 400 meters hurdles, and he finished the day after me. So you could be depressed in your room during 7 days, or you could go and visit the city, and that's exactly what we did. So mostly the season isn't finished after the championship. It's at the end of the season, but a few important races after. So you party a little bit, but not too hard.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Because you're always talking like, yeah, Rio were your last like your last Olympics, because that means that now, like you said already, like you're retired. So how does the retired life of an athlete, like retired sounds so old, although you're not that old, but how does it feel like how does sport have a place in your life right now?
Well, the most tough part actually was to make a decision. Let's say that for me, last years were pretty frustrating. I felt that something wasn't normal, and during the COVID pandemic, they found that one of my kidneys wasn't working properly, and so I underwent surgery, and for me it was a big relief because I had already back pain since 2015, and they never thought of my kidney, but they thought of my back muscles.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that helped me to place it that for top sport, for elite sports, you need to be 100%. And the sad part of the story is that my body wasn't there anymore, and also running is pretty. You probably can agree on this. It's a pretty hard sport for your body. How many contacts your body makes with the ground is just crazy. And so I had some small issues with my heel. My bursa was always inflating, and that helped make the decision. And I think the transition was already in one of the last years. I think cycling more, and started doing more other sports. And after my operation, I tried one time to come back, but I just felt like, what is elite sports? It's training hard as much as you can, but especially recover fast. And that part was for me, missing. And then, at one point you make a decision and you start looking for new opportunities. And like I said, I was cycling a lot. And during one of the cycle sessions, one of my good friends, Jacob Mignon, a great cyclist, invited other friends. And one of those other friends is actually my current boss, Tom Vanassa of Polestar. And so during that ride, I was like, all right, Polestar, I never thought about that brand, or I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know how to get in. And then I think a week after that bike ride, I asked Jacob, hey, can you give me the contact details of Tom? I would like to contact him for maybe a new job opportunity. And then I called him. I said, like, look, I finished my career. I need something new as fast as possible because I was nearly without a job.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, yeah, contact me in 1 month. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's a polite no.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, a few days later, I did a test drive with the Polestar at one of their events, and I took a picture and I sent him this picture, and I was like, prospect, winky face, and then he replied, "Are you free in 2 days to apply for a job?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." And then suddenly it was all emotion, and yeah, I started as a space manager. So space is one of our showrooms, and I suddenly had to manage people. And yeah, after 3 months, they put me at another job, and then I was uh, the fleet manager and remarketing manager for Belgium for Polestar. And then 3 months later, he said, like, look, we're gonna put you in sales. So again, a new job. And then I'm still in my current job, like as an SME manager. So
Mm-hmm.
for small and medium-sized enterprises, I make conventions and yeah, I sell cars now. But it's a great, the spirit in our company is great. Really nice colleagues, and everyone has the same ambition to change something, and that's really important, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also all about creating opportunities for yourself, right? I mean, if you wouldn't have taken the step to contact that person, you would have never known.
Yeah.
I also think it's like a little bit with the sport. If you wouldn't have taken like the plunge to like go for it and go like pro, yeah, you
Yeah.
wouldn't have gotten to like the Olympic Games. Um, but then are
Absolutely.
you still running, or running is like all over for you?
Uh, I would say I'm not running anymore, but let's say I try to run once a month or twice a month. It's compared to what I did, it's nothing. But it's that, like, I like to cycle more now, and then also paddle. So that's really
Oh
popular
yeah.
in Spain,
Yeah.
and it's a combination I do actually. So I'm struggling to sport enough because it's a pretty demanding job, and that's, yeah, one of the hard parts. Like, I was used to always train when it was when the sun was shining, and now I'm home pretty late always. Like, in the winter, I don't see the sun to do sports. And yeah, actually, if people invite me to run, I run. But
Yeah.
and if it's really like a week without sports, I try to run. But if I do the other ones enough, then it's fine for me. Like, maybe I should make a goal or so, because I need goals, like everyone, I think, to sport more, to run more, definitely. And yeah, of course I miss it, but yeah, it's a new life, new opportunities, new sports. So yeah.
But if you go for a run, is it then also like I'm just gonna go with the flow, or it's like really with an objective, like okay, I want to do like this, or just grabbing the opportunity of going out and doing some running?
Yeah, for the first time in my life, I don't have to look at a schedule when I'm running, so I just go. And I think the average pace when I go now, it's maybe 4:45, and if I run a couple of times in 1 week, and then goes pretty quickly to 4:30. But it's just to get outside, actually, to enjoy being outside, because I'm not complaining about my job, but I miss being outside. And yeah, if I go with Joris Keppens, one of my ex-colleagues, then it's probably 4:10 we run, 4 minutes 10 seconds per kilometer. So then it's a little bit faster, and then I'm tired. But I'm not sprinting on hills, or I'm just doing it to be outside. Try to stay a little bit fit.
Yeah. Well, thank you already so much for like all the information you have given me, and also
Yeah.
like the insights in our Olympian life. But now the most important question maybe of all, if you would have to give like one piece of advice, like your best piece of advice, what would it be?
Yeah, the best thing is have fun. Uh, I think one of the things of being a pro athlete is that yeah, of course, it's the best job in the world if everything goes all right. But it's also kind of a lot of pressure when things are not going all right. And then to find the fun in training, like for example, yeah, your income depends on it. So there the fun is sometimes really far to find. But in your daily life, like yeah, it's not a matter of life or death. So have fun, and if you struggle with motivation, run with other people, best of the same level. But even I think the social part is so crucial. Yeah, and that's and don't be too hard on yourself. That's something I can advise as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they always want to go like faster and further and better, and
Yeah,
instead of like also just enjoying, yeah, the progress. Okay, Jeroen, thank you so much for giving all the tips and also for like your time.
yeah,
I hope and
yes.
I know for sure that people will really take some with them. And you know, like when I'm back in Belgium, you still owe me a ride with the Polestar car.
Yeah, or I'll look to arrange one in Barcelona.
Yeah.
I'll contact my colleagues there, and otherwise we arrange something here. So people, sorry for the ride in the Polestar. It was totally safe, uh, but it's part of the sales pitch.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jeroen, and have a nice evening.
Have a nice evening and good luck with all yeah all your projects, and keep looking for opportunities.